This episode of Birds and Bats is brought to you by SemoAutomall.com. Wanting to shop for cars, trucks, motorcycles, and more? Do so from the comfort of your home at SemoAutomall.com.
Welcome to Birds and Bats.
Oh, we're starting now. Okay. Yeah, sure. Okay, let's do this.
My name's Mackenzie, and we have Nico with us this week.
Hello.
I do not have Steven with us with a PH. Steven the party, Steven. He is not with us this week, but we do have our captain, Nico, who's usually behind the camera, but he's in front of the camera this week.
For some reason.
And it's really exciting. What's even more exciting is we may or may not lose power during this segment. It is storming cats and dogs outside with hail.
I'm so excited for the part of this episode where it's just a black screen for 5 minutes.
That's right. You can insert one of those, like, the bar
Sure.
But
it'll just be Steven's face.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Anyway, so the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Nico doesn't like baseball.
I like baseball.
I mean, he doesn't follow it as closely as me or Steven.
That's not true. Well, it's partially true.
It's true.
I didn't watch baseball until Fox Radio Network was like, hey, produce a show about baseball. And I was like, oh, I should probably watch baseball. No, actually, I used to really like baseball. I used to follow the Cardinals, like, pretty darn closely.
Mm-hmm.
But for some reason, I kind of just fell out of it. I got really, like, more into football, more into basketball. We'll talk about that later. But yeah, I love the Cardinals. Actually, honestly, I think I've probably kept up with the Cardinals better than you and Steven have.
Yeah, I feel like I'll agree with that. There's been a couple weeks where we've come to, like, review before we do the show, and I'm like, yeah, that happened. Like, I didn't see that.
Yeah, it's honestly, since we didn't have the show last week, it was really easy for me not the show as in this show. It was really easy for me not to watch Cardinals baseball, and I felt really bad about it. And so I was like, oh, I have to recap because I'm going to be on Birds and Bats for the first time, and I need to talk about birds and bats. So
the point of the show.
The Cardinals. So, but what's cool is I was able to look back and was like, oh, apparently we're having, like, the best start that a rotation of starting pitchers has ever had. Mm-hmm. Which is funny because we made such a big deal of Wainwright being gone. And I need to make sure I have my phone on me. Sorry for I had your surprise.
Here.
Oh my word! Okay, I forgot my phone, but it's okay. We'll keep on going. But yeah, so we were freaking about Wainwright being gone, but the Cardinals have been killing it.
Here's the thing. I think I've said this before multiple times, and it rings true every single time. The Cardinals do their best whenever they're faced with a problem. Sure. Whenever they are presented with a genuine challenge, like losing Wainwright, losing Albert, losing, like whenever we lose players or something, or whenever we were out with Yachty, like that's when we rise to the occasion. I feel like, and I feel like this last week, or really 2 weeks, has really proved that. I mean, in a way, it is kind of easy to go into, like, autopilot whenever, we're not doing something actively with the Cardinals. But to me, it's for a different reason, because all I have to do is wake up in the morning and check my phone from the game from the night before, because I go to bed at, like, 6 o'clock at night. And
Jeez, Grandma.
I need my sleep. But I go to check my phone, and it's like, like the Dodgers 7-1.
Yeah,
a couple of days
7-3.
Yeah, so I'm like, yeah, all right, it's easy to go into autopilot because whenever you look, it's typically smooth sailing.
Right. Yeah, it's been crazy. It's been really cool. So, anyways, the reason I was freaking out about my phone earlier, I told you.
Tell me the surprise. I want to know what the surprise is.
Okay. So do you know what the fantasy camp is for St. Louis Cardinals fantasy camp?
I know of it.
Okay, so it is a thing where if you're older than 27, you could essentially do a 4-man or a 4-team league with the Cardinals being coached by former Cardinals.
That's
so it's a cool thing. So I'm giving you tickets to do that. No, not really. No, what surprise! No,
stop.
No. It's like $5,000 to do it, so it's really expensive. So we can't afford that.
That was not funny.
No, sorry.
Did you see my face? Lord, my heart stopped
I'm
for
so
a
sorry.
second.
No, so that's not your surprise. The surprise was on St. Louis, the Cardinals' actual Twitter account. They tweeted out today that a camper, one of the campers, asked Adam Wainwright a question and said, Adam, will you be ready for spring? And he said, or for spring training, he said, does spring training start in October?
What? I have goosebumps. I am not joking.
Yeah. Yeah, he said that. So, I'm not sure what that means.
I know what that means. Can I explain to you what that means?
Sure.
He's coming back. I'm going to go ahead and pull the trigger on this because I'm really excited and I have goosebumps. He's coming back. October? Are you serious?
So one thing is, does that mean that he'll be ready to start rehab in October? Like, or does that mean he's ready to play in October? What's that mean? I've been known to jinx things for this show.
That's right.
So I'm not going to say that he's coming back for sure. But
Steven right now is watching this, like, cringing and
right,
like,
he's
twitching.
like, no. But Adam Wainwright said this. You can go to at Cardinals, I think that's what their Twitter account is, and go back and see that they had said this. And so, yeah, this is something that I think Adam Wainwright's Twitter account is at Uncle Charlie 50, and so they say that that's what he replied to the campers. So,
Hold on, you got to repeat it for me because my brain's taking it other places. What did it say exactly?
Well, I don't know exactly, but I'll give you the gist.
Okay.
Said, a camper asked Adam Wainwright, will you be ready for spring training? And he said, does spring training begin in October? So that's a pretty exciting thing. And I
Okay, so the question, will you be ready for spring training? Will you be ready? They know what that means. If you looked at me and you said, are you ready for a donut? I know that you're going to be handing me a donut in the next couple minutes, and that's what it means. It means it's going to happen.
It's
it means
National
something
Donut
is going
Day.
to... Right, I know. I had like 7 donuts before I got here. Little tiny ones. Anyway. That means that something's going to happen. I say he's coming back. That is crazy. I feel like I was just told Dumbledore didn't really die and then he was brought back to life.
But he did. and Wainwright is coming back from a really tough injury, so I'm not going to say that anything is going to happen because I'm not a baseball fan apparently. But I told you not to look up anything Cardinals news related because I thought that I would love to be able to break this news to you on the show.
So
News, it's a rumor. Who knows what's going to happen? Hopefully he'll be able to bounce back in time, but we'll see.
Because who puts rumors on Twitters? It's not Twitter's. It's not a rumor
Literally
zone. Not a rumor zone. No, not a rumor zone.
But anyways, today, so it's behind baseball, whatever, behind the scenes. I don't know what you want to call it. It's Friday when we're recording this. That means that yesterday, Thursday, was Game 1 of the NBA Finals.
NBA.
That's basketball.
Basketball. Right. No.
Yeah, so I watched that, Game 1. I loved it. It's probably the best Game 1 of the NBA Finals I've ever seen. It's up there, like, until overtime. Overtime, it got kind of gross. So I was thinking, I was like, okay, I'm going to be on Birds and Bats for the first time. Everyone says I'm not a fan of baseball. So I was going to say, what is the best championship in professional sports? Is it the NBA Finals? Is it the World Series? Is it the Stanley Cup Finals? Is it the Super Bowl? I think I know what Mackenzie's going to say.
I think you're right. What am I going to say?
I think you're going to say the Stanley Cup Finals.
It's not at all. In fact, I had to think about what the Stanley Cup Finals were for a minute after well, I know that now. But you said it a second ago, and I was like, cup? What is a cup?
Soccer?
I think soccer, yes. No, well, I actually like watching soccer.
Soccer.
MLB, obviously World Series. I mean, you cannot beat it. I really, honestly feel like you can't beat it. There's just, oh my gosh, there's just magic in the air whenever it is World Series time. It does. And I don't feel bad about that. Nico asked me earlier about the NBA thing, and I was like, it's basketball season? Like, I get tunnel vision. Like, the minute we hit the end of February until the minute we are done with October, I have tunnel vision. It is Cardinal season. I'm sorry.
Sure. I'll say this. I think the best time of the year is the fall, whenever we are in late baseball season or playoffs and basketball season's getting started and football season's getting started. That's my favorite time of the year. But when we're talking about the end game... that was just really bad. The championships of sports. I'm a Packers fan.
I do know that.
Like I'm obsessed. It's a problem.
It's is working on it.
I went to Lambeau Field by myself, paid about $2,000 just to do that by myself. I had an option to pay like half of that and have someone come with me and have a little bit worse seats, and I said I'm going to pay all of that and have the best seats be by myself.
Night.
So, anyways, I think everyone who knows me that I'm a huge Packers fan, and they would probably assume that I'd say the Super Bowl is the best. I don't think it is.
Really?
I really don't think it is.
I was not expecting that.
So the Super Bowl, I think it's great if the Packers are playing. Call me a homer for them, even though I'm not from Wisconsin. But the Super Bowl's cool, and I watch it every year. But like last year's Super Bowl, whenever the Packers got knocked out, and it was Seattle versus New England, I didn't care at all.
Really?
At all. Like, I was like, I'm going to watch this because it's the Super Bowl. It's something that you have to watch on television.
Sure.
Commercials, halftime, and it's the dadgum Super Bowl.
Sure.
And you don't have to invest too much time into it. Like, if you're investing in the World Series or any other playoff series, you have to commit to maybe 7 games. Mm-hmm. And so that's the one plus that I think the Super Bowl has, is that it's a 3-hour thing, and everything's right there, and so you can really enjoy it just in that one time.
Okay.
But I do think the NBA Finals is the best thing not the best thing in sports, but the best championship,
really?
Which is weird. So whether or not you are, so where we're from Missouri, and so we don't have a basketball team anymore. And I didn't grow up with a basketball team other than the Bulls because Michael Jordan was on there. But also, at the same time, I was able to appreciate all the other greats during that era.
Sure. Yeah. Well, that was a really good time to be a fan of basketball.
Right. And I still think it is a good time now to be a fan of basketball. But that's because the way that I've grown to love basketball is I like Borat. No, I like following different players more than teams. I've considered myself a Miami Heat fan for a long time as soon as Dwayne Wade was there and won with Shaquille O'Neal a few years back. But so the Game 1 game happened for the finals this year, and I don't care if Golden State or Cleveland Cavaliers win, but I was standing up, pacing towards the end of the fourth quarter in that game. And I was like, this is so much fun. This is Game 1. We get a couple more of these at least. I'm so excited. And I like baseball. But the games can be so long.
Sure.
And
I'll give you that.
And it gets kind of boring. Like the whole game, from the tip off for basketball. I don't look like a very good basketball fan right now. But
that thing
to the end of the fourth quarter was some of the most exciting, sports I've ever seen on television. Like, it was just so much fun. And I think, give me the 7th inning stretch for the World Series, and I'll take that over the NBA Finals. But
well, okay. Let me explain. I can kind of understand this. I really can. My sister was a beast with basketball.
Sure.
And, I mean, she still probably is if we were to get on the court. I suck at basketball, but my sister is amazing at it.
You're 10 feet tall. How do you suck at basketball?
Well, height doesn't mean everything. Okay. I can't shoot. I can't block anybody. I get knocked over on my butt all the time. It's not good. I don't like it. However, I remember growing up and watching my sister play, and games can get really stinking exciting, and part of me almost enjoys baseball that much more over other sports, specifically because there is no time limit. It's like Quidditch. It could go on for friggin' years if you wanted to. You have to substitute players in and everything like that so that other people can get rest and all that other stuff. I love that. See, like you were saying, like, a 3-hour and it's done. Like, no way. Like, that's the whole reason why I don't like watching football.
Sure.
It's because it does get exciting, and I'm like, oh, we only have 2 minutes left, and then it gets over. It's like, well, dang it. Like, what am I supposed to do for the next 4 hours?
Sleep.
Like, go to bed. But I think I can sympathize with that because basketball.
Sympathize?
Yes, a little bit. I can understand what you're talking about with the excitement in basketball because I remember watching my sister play and just it was you'd be on the edge of the seat.
Sure.
Granted, it was she was in high school playing basketball and then she went to college and did basketball and there were times that you're just like, oh, like what are we doing? We have 30 seconds left. Somebody needs to do something. But I can definitely understand that. I can. It's still not my favorite sport. Probably will never be my favorite sport. But baseball will always be number one in my heart. But I can understand that. I can.
Yeah, and I honestly think like it's weird. I think football and baseball are extremely similar. I think if you're a fan of that team, like that is the team you follow. You better not follow another team. Like I get so mad whenever someone's like, "Oh, my team got knocked out. I'm rooting for this team." I hate you.
I know. I hate that too.
You're the worst person in the world.
I do too.
But with basketball, for some reason, I don't get like upset about that. I'm like, man, this player's really good. This player's really good. I want this player to do so well. And I think with basketball, also you have less players to follow, and I think it's kind of a cool thing. But I probably shouldn't this is an argument. I shouldn't win because this is a show that I produce about baseball. But I think they're apples and oranges. I think you can enjoy both of them equally. Or you can enjoy one more.
Salad. And you can enjoy it equally with a fruit salad. Am I wrong? Tell me I'm wrong.
Weirdest pause ever. Fruit salad. That's when the tornado's coming, is when everything dies out. Because everything did die out in the storm that's happening right now. So we're probably dead. Mom, I love you. Dad, yeah.
John, I love you. Bo, I love you more. Don't tell John.
No,
I'm just joking. Bo's our dog.
So yeah, sports are awesome.
Sports are awesome. I will agree with that. Sports as a total are awesome. I just can't get into football. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
I know you love the Packers, but I actually like the Packers. I don't mind them very much. I mean, we have
Good.
friends that are huge Packer fans. Cheesehead, right?
Yeah. Sure.
See, I know a little bit. But I don't know. I guess my ranking would probably be. Well, no. I think my ranking would probably be baseball. Obviously.
Big surprise.
This is actually going the different way than I thought it was going to go because I'm rethinking it in my head. Probably would be baseball, football, soccer, and then basketball. But I do enjoy watching all of those.
Hockey didn't even make the list. Screw you, hockey.
I'm sorry, Blues.
No, well, the Blues always get knocked out in the first round of the playoffs. So I hate this. Why did I agree to be on this show?
Because you were the captain.
Okay.
And I can't be by myself.
Well, you can't because you have a human in you right now. So, yeah, technically can't be by yourself.
No, never.
Yeah, I guess.
Never.
So, yeah, we don't know what's better. World Series is better because we're a Cardinals show. But I love the NBA Finals. It's awesome. So, that's the show, I think.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was good.
Before we die from the tornado that is surely waiting for us outside the door.
Just waiting to sit out there. Guys, come on.
All right, that's a good place to end.
Okay. Well, I'm Nico Cuevas. You can watch my show on foxradionetwork.com/watch. I'll tell you what to watch that's on Netflix or in the movies or outside your window.
Like the tornado that's waiting for us.
And this is Birds and Bats. foxradionetwork.com/birds and bats.
You can find us on Twitter at Fox Radio Network, #Birds and Bats.
All right, we'll see you guys later. Deuces. Hey, Steven, this is the first episode you've ever watched.
Woo!